Hey guys, it's your boy Nick. I'm excited, Luna's face is referred, and I'm ready to go. Today we're going to be talking about badge making as the first episode of Nick's Picks. So how it's going to go down for the time being, Nick's Picks is a compilation of the arts in the furry fandom. These include anything from animation makers, 3D modeling, fursuit parts, and so much more. The goal is basically to show off some awesome things in the fandom and also give you a preview on how to do them yourself. But beyond that, I'll of course do fursuit maker reviews and switch off weekly. I've downloaded a completely new video editor, so I'm really excited to see how this one turns out. But without further ado, let's get into it. Badges. This video is about badges. I'm going to be completely forthright here. Most badges are very similar to one another. And that's the point, don't get me wrong. There's no wrong way to do a badge. But I wanted to find some that were a little different. The ones I mostly see tend to be markers, however I'm seeing a rise in old-fashioned colored pencils, and using holographic laminations as well. And that's all well and good, but I want to see more stylized badges using different art forms. For this next part, a lot of these were hard because I would find awesome makers, but they hadn't posted in years. Otherwise, I would have just done a video about 3 awesome badge makers, but I'll be going off format for this one. It's really disheartening because I couldn't find any up-to-date versions or newer people practicing these art forms. So instead I made a compilation of 4 different types that cater to 4 different art styles. Number 1, basic badges. If you do any type of art, digital, traditional, however, then basic badges are a great place to start. For this, I want to show off an amazing artist, Goopy Slug. Their art style certainly makes all their badges adorable and sticky looking. Each one has a fantastic array of colors, poses, and additions that make them really stand out to me. The use of white space and white marker also gives a shiny effect to the art, and it's one of my favorite things to see implemented in my own art. But it also helps make their art look more sticky, I guess? On the bottom layer of their badges, they also put holographic vinyl, which is a great and fun option considering vinyl comes in literally dozens of colors, from glitter, holographic, matte, and gradients. But with regular badges, you can use a laminator, self-adhesive laminated paper, or even packaging tape to varying levels of success. With this, I implore you to test out different paper types and colors as well as different mediums such as crayons, colored pencils, and more. Number 2. If you have a talent for lineless art or paper crafting, then paper cut badges are a great place to start. To showcase this skill, I want to highlight TKG Studios, and oh my goodness, this maker is incredible. The fact that they don't have 1 million followers, criminal and unjustified. Each badge is a layer of paper constructed to make an image. They accept heads as well as scenes, but they've told me that they've been making badges professionally since like 2012. They only take as many commissions that they can make within a month, so typically they take between 10 to 15 orders at a time. A single piece, say a full body image, takes roughly 8 to 12 hours of work from concept to finished product. As for paper cutting techniques, even though I'm sure there's a tutorial out there somewhere, or at least multiple people in the works of refining this as their craft, here's my advice to you. Think of paper layering in the same vein as lineless art. If you're starting out, low-key, start with something easy. Or even just redraw a piece you already have as a lineless version. That's just my thought anyway, but I hope that kind of makes sense. To be able to make 3-dimensional art, you have to omit shadows and borders using only colors rather than lines. So mastering lineless art is a really good step for this. I made this video hoping it might help. So what I did is I started with the basic colors I have and reference lines for what I want it to look like. I imagined each layer as a piece of paper. And my thought is you could even print these out and just place them on top of one another for practice. Obviously you should use cardstock and an X-Acto knife, but I'm sure printer paper might be fine for just starting. But number 3, if you have an affinity for pixel art, then I have the perfect type of badge for you. Perler bead badges. Yes, I do mean that. That silly child craft that we used to do in elementary school is exactly the perfect kind to make pixel bead badges. How rad is it you could take a craft project and turn it into stunning physical works of art people will actually pay money for? So for this, I have the example of Grey Paw. They have really, really cute badges. They haven't posted in a while, but they're a great example for what you can make. A good way to get started into pixel art is to make yourself a 50 by 50 pixel screen on your art software of choice, or even Microsoft Paint if you can. Give yourself the perler bead colors that you want to work with, and practice making things that are that small. Imagine every pixel as a bead, and follow pixel artists. Learn how to construct images in shade without using any blur effects. It's a great start if you're interested. And lastly, but not leastly, Number 4, felt. This is a great one to try out if you think you'd be into something a little more 3D. But I will say this, felt is not something that's super easy to work with. It's very finicky, and if you don't seal the whole thing, it could come apart because there's no true backing. So sometimes you could bump into something and it could easily rip off a piece over time. I'm not sure if there's a way to laminate felt badges aside from sealant spray, but if you can think of anything, let me know in the comments. But this method is fun, cheap, and you can also make really cute dolls and create looks that you can't really get from any other medium. Felt badges, I would also recommend starting on a hard felt base. They sell these at Hobby Lobby and Joann, and I'm sure you can easily get these online. Spray adhesive, hot glue, super glue, all of these should be able to suit your needs pretty well. Even sewing through the back wouldn't present too much of an issue either. But I do want to note that the market for badges is ever increasing. There will always be a market for these. On top of that, they make a great addition, so if you also make physical items that you ship to customers, for fursuit makers it'd be awesome to include that into your works as either an addition that they can buy or simply a gift. But that is all I have for you today, and as always, links are in the description down below. This video was certainly not exactly what I imagined originally when I first scripted it, but I am focused very heavily on next week's video, if any of you know what that is. If you do know what that is, you've probably been following me on my Discord or on my Instagram, but I will be doing a fursuit maker review that I pretty much got basically threatened to be sued over, which was interesting. But I am going to be pushing forward with that, so this video is going to seem a little bit more rushed than normal. But yeah, I will see you next Tuesday for that video, and wish me luck.